Dan Illman, Mike Beer. It's Claiming Crown Saturday at Gulfstream Park, and the main event is the Jewel. Let's take a look at the field. Race number 10, we're going 1.125 miles, $125,000 is the purse. It is a full field, Mike, and at first glance, I looked at this field and I said, okay, which one is best suited to go 1.125 miles? And I'm still looking.
Yeah, I thought that was the major question of the race too. The distance is going to be a real key here. Girolamo's attached the morning line favorite. I think he makes a lot of sense in this race. I am a little worried that he may not want to go this far.
Timeform US projects that the pace will be fast. I think the pace is going to be solid at least, and won't be surprised if it's fast. The Thistledown Invader, the 6-strike appeal. This horse has shown good speed. Gate to wire, 2 starts back with an eye-opening 99 Beyer speed figure. He'll be forward along with Ludington from the rail.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to go in this race. He does have plenty of speed. Didn't have to go as fast last time off the claim, Dan, but he still won pretty easily.
Now, Ludington has improved in his last 3 races when stretched out to a 1-turn mile at Gulfstream. Now he's going to have to go 2 turns. He's going to have to go 1.125 miles. His most recent start, he faced Tune In, who's also in this field. They basically started at the same point turning for home, and Ludington couldn't finish with Tune In.
Yeah, I thought Tune In ran the better race that day, and I am worried that Ludington may not handle this added ground here. He's run fine in his last 3 starts. I don't think stretching out again does him any favors here.
Third start off a 2-month layoff for the 2 Hard Lighting, who, as you see, is likely to fall far behind if there is a fast pace up front. Distance questions here, and I think some class issues as well. Last time out at Gulfstream, Mike, it was a 1-turn mile. It was an even performance, and I just didn't love the field he was in against.
Yeah, I didn't love that race either. And he's just the kind of horse who it just feels like, maybe he had a little bit of early potential, but he hasn't, really gone on while struggling to put races together. I don't think he's necessarily in, like way too tough here, Dan, but there are serious questions with this horse. I guess if you want to keep the favorite thing, you're going to get a great price.
As Mike mentioned in the open, the 3 Girolamo's attack is going to be very tough to beat. Stretched out to 1 mile in his last 2 races, scored both times. Let's watch his most recent start. Got a very easy trip in this race. It was only a 5-horse field. He broke inward, but was able to then control the pace up front, and then he's going to score despite drifting out in the stretch. What is notable about this effort is he was going against a very good field. Fearless and Eye of a Jedi, these are horses that would be major factors if they were in this race.
Yeah, that's true. It's a quality win in that regard. I will just say Fearless, who was also even money in that race. He was a graded stakes winner earlier in the year, and then he came back to run well in 2 more graded stakes. But he's always been a horse that's a little bit hard to trust. He had missed a lot of time. I don't know, how much credit I want to give Girolamo's attack, just for beating Fearless last time. But he still ran the race that he ran, and it was a good one. I'm concerned about the 9 furlongs for him. I do think in a lot of ways he's the horse to beat.
Tune In is very consistent. He's hit the board in his last 10 starts, including this victory over Ludington. He was the 2-5 favorite, going a 1-turn mile and returning from Churchill Downs. We watched Tune In again. Situation, short field, made an easy lead. Ludington's right on top of him. Tune In was just better.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just think he ran the better race here. It was a good performance. I thought he ran well 2 starts back as well when he was second to Major Fed. Major Fed is a horse who would certainly be a heavy favorite in this race. Were we in here? And this horse ran very well in that race. Since he's come back to dirt for his last 3 starts, his form has really picked up. I just think he makes a lot of sense in this race.
And like Girolamo's attack, he's very tactical. If this pace is fast, Tune In is not going to be on the lead, but he doesn't have to be on the lead. He can come from mid-pack or far back and still be effective. Girolamo's attack, who was on the lead last time out, likely to tuck in where Timeform US has him in the second flight. Didn't Gloria Florida just run just as well as Girolamo's attack last time out, Mike, though, on October the 23rd? Ran second that day, not a lot of pace. Girolamo's attack at the jump, and this horse lost a little bit of ground.
Yeah, I won't argue too hard with that viewing of that race. Personally, when I watched it, you go back to the top of the stretch of that race. To me, Gloria Florida had every chance to get by, and he just wasn't quite good enough to do it. Maybe I'm starting a couple of lengths behind Girolamo's attack was enough of an excuse. I didn't necessarily think it was. On the other hand, he's going to be a much better price than Girolamo's attack.
Strike Appeal, the expected pace setter. He's just a nice horse. 10 of 22 lifetime. Scored with that big 99 Beyer, 2 starts back, going 2 turns at Thistledown. Last time out was 1-20. No problems whatsoever. The buyer went down to an 84, but we know this horse is fast. The question is the mile and an eighth, and the question is, can he get an easy pace scenario? He doesn't need the lead to win, but he won't mind taking it.
Yeah, I think they're going to go forward with him. I think he's going to be okay if they, somebody goes to his inside and he has to sit a little bit. I don't think that's going to necessarily affect this horse. And I'm, not that worried about the mile and an eighth for him either, Dan. All of his races are 2 turns. And his form is just really held up for several different trainers. So, I know he was off the claim last time. He only beat 3 other horses as a very heavy favorite, and his buyer declined. But he was just doing what he had to do in that race. This horse, he's very dangerous in here.
12-volt man, the number 7, intrigues me at 10-1 on the morning line simply because he's so lightly raced. He's a 3-year-old with only 6 prior starts, and while we've probably seen the best races from horses like Girolamo's Attack and Tune In and Strike Appeal, I'm not sure we've seen the best race from 12-volt man, and I think his last race might be a little bit of a throw-out, Lasix off, and that stake on a synthetic surface where he fell far behind. I think he's a better dirt horse. He did have a very easy trip 2 starts back, winning off a 2-month layoff. But I like the way he finished it up. And to me, I think he has enough pedigree on the bottom to get the distance.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with all that stuff, Dan. I mean, I feel like this is a horse who you could definitely use, especially if he's around that morning line price. He just feels like he has so much upside. And like you, I just don't care about his last race. His dirt form is fine.
And even if you look at his other 2 losses, one might be the excuse of a sloppy track. The other might be he was in against Papa 2 and Real Talk, who were a couple of good sprinters over the summer at Gulfstream Park, and he just might have been a little tough, again, without Lasix. Braccio di Ferro scored for 20 last time out. We're going to watch that race. This is a gray son of Race Day, who has won his last 2 starts on dirt and has also done it in versatile fashion. In this race, he came from last. In his race on August the 21st, he went to the front, but he is taking a step up in class here.
Yeah, I mean, he's hard to make a case for in this race. He just seems like he's way too slow to beat this field. I suppose he's going to be some kind of big price in here, Dan. He's just going to sit back and try to make one run.
It's been a fascinating journey to this year's Claiming Crown Jewel for the 9 Mohawk, who once sold for $925,000 as a yearling, was claimed for $35,000 back in January. It's a tough game, but the horse seems to be improving, and his most recent start was over synthetic, going a mile and a 16th for 35. Let's watch Mohawk's race. Maybe synthetic isn't his best surface, although he has improved. He seemed to get an easy trip in this race on the lead and just couldn't hold on. There's one thing that you can like about Mohawk. He's bred to get this trip.
I mean, he is. We'll see if he can, somehow find a way to take a step forward here. Personally, I know that they were on a different surface, Dan. I didn't see his excuses for settling for second in either of his last 2 starts. I just don't like those performances. And it's not like his other dirt form, suggests he's going to be some kind of major player in here.
Maybe we're overthinking this way too much. Yes, the 10 Hanalei Houdini has a lousy outside post position, but he was claimed out of his last race by Michael Maker, who knows horses with potential distance ability. We've seen it on turf all the time. Maker claims a horse, stretches him out. They move from claiming horses to stakes winners. Now, I know Hanalei Houdini from Laurel, and I think he's got a little bit of hang in him. But it's possible that a mile and an eighth against these kind of horses might work to his advantage. His last race at Keeneland, he was in against a couple of next out winners. The runner-up came back to win with a 92 buyer. He's just got to work out a trip. Paco's the guy to do it.
Yeah, he just needs a trip in the race. I feel like he's another horse who's very easy to make a case for in here, Dan. He does not need the lead, so I think he's going to sit somewhere off of it and make a run. He's already run very well at 9 furlongs, so I don't think you have to worry about that with this horse. And being off the claim for Maker, I mean, I just sort of felt like that would lead to him taking money in here. If he's around that 6-1 morning line, it's a very fair price.
Let's take a look at our top picks. You can go so many different ways in the Claiming Crown Jewel. I just think you're supposed to go for a price. Tune In is just a consistent, solid horse with a versatile running style. That's where you're going, Mike.
Yeah, I almost put the Maker horse on top, Dan, but I sort of felt like he was going to be one of the favorites in here, and that's why I didn't take him on top. I felt like Tune In had a chance to drift in here, and I just feel like he's very logical, very versatile kind of horse, gets the distance. I think he's going to get a nice trip in this race.
I want the upside at double-digit prices. I can make excuses for all of 12-volt man's losses. Back to dirt here with this horse. He can take a step forward. He's so lightly raced. 7-5-3-4 for me, 4-10-3-6 for Mike. It's the Claiming Crown Jewel on Claiming Crown Saturday at Gulfstream Park. Good luck.